This is Kat Sturtz from rockingyourpath.com with another episode of Fast Action Fridays. Today, my special guest is Mark Johnson from north of Calgary, Canada, but he used to live across the lake from me. That would be Lake Huron. I'm on the Michigan side of Lake Huron, and he was on the Ontario side of Lake Huron. Mark, welcome to Fast Action Fridays. We are
Thank
going to
you.
be talking about Google and claiming your business on Google.
Yes.
And I know that's a topic that most people that I talk to are aware of, but really have no idea whether this is important to their business or not. So before we jump into that, can you just share a little bit about yourself and your background?
Well, my background, we chatted about this a little bit earlier. I grew up in a dairy farm too, which meant I learned a really good work ethic there. That translated later in building two businesses that we sold, very successful businesses. And I'm taking my knowledge of what I learned and some of the really important lessons I learned and sharing that with other businesses. So I'm a business coach now, and I help heart-centered entrepreneurs grow and expand their business all over.
And that would be primarily an online business?
This is what I've been building, is an online where I do all my coaching through the medium of Zoom and webinars and some of the other things. But I want a virtual business so that I can go anywhere in the world and still operate my business, as opposed to having a brick and mortar type of business. And I know some of your watchers and listeners, that's important to them as well. Right?
It
and
is.
That's why they're in the business, the types of businesses that they are, because then they can do it with a computer and an internet connection, as opposed to having to show up at a brick and mortar store every day.
Right. And one of the reasons I invited you to be a guest is because what we're going to discuss is important whether you have a brick and mortar business, that physical location, and you primarily service a local community, which could be a small one like my village here in Pigeon, Michigan, or you have an online business, which is primarily what I do now, though I still have a few local business marketing clients or connections, depending on what their needs are and what I'm providing. So let's jump into this topic. Give us a bit of information about what to expect, and then we'll get into the tips that you have for us. And I want to remind people to stick around to the end today, because Mark's offering a great free resource that will help you put all of the tips and advice he's going to share into practice. And it comes in a checklist form, which I love, because you can just go bing, bing, bing and say, yep, did that. And I love that you explain why we should do something, because if I don't know the why, then I'm not encouraged and prompted to actually do the action. So take us into this world of Google My Business.
And that's it. Most of us, and we think about, if we want a tissue, we get a Kleenex, right? That's kind of the common name. Or as you and I, because we live in areas that have snow, they don't go snowmobiling, they go skidooing, right? Brand names start to become synonymous. And when we look at our businesses now, almost everyone, doesn't matter what search engine you're using, we say, oh, I'll just Google that and I'll find it. Well, Google has a great tool, and it's a free tool. They don't charge you for this, and it's called Google My Business. And it works for any type of business, whether you have a brick and mortar store, an online business, or like myself, I work from home. It works for all of them because it lets you get on Google and share your business with the world that exists in Google.
I love that. And even though I know most of my clients come to me from other places than a direct search on Google, having claimed my business still provides benefits for me. And take us into some more advice, and what are your tips that we should follow?
Well, the first one is you have to claim your business. A lot of people get confused by this because they'll go to search for their business in Google and they'll see, oh, my business exists, but it hasn't been claimed. And there's a little place that says, do you own this business? Claim it here. And you click on that, you can claim the business. Because Google, because of all the work that Google's done for Google Maps and Google search engines. So if you've got a storefront and you've got a sign up that says you do, beauty care, dog grooming, whatever it is, Google might have already seen that and then went, oh, they do a search because their algorithms are so powerful, and they find, oh, you have a website, oh, you're listed in the yellow pages, and all these things that they find about you, or you have Yelp reviews, really popular in restaurants. Then Google goes, oh, okay, this business exists, we know it exists, and they create a page for you. That's great. Doesn't help you if you don't claim it, because then you can't leverage the power. So the very first thing to do is do a Google search for your business name in your town. That's important. No matter where you're located, do it in your town. Now, if you're an online business, you maybe don't have one set up yet, but you should still set one up. That's really the first tip. Do the search, find your business. If it exists, great. If it doesn't, that's great too, because you get to build it from scratch.
And if Google has created one for you and you haven't claimed it, could the one that Google created have inaccurate information?
Absolutely. It could have wrong hours. It could have you categorized in the wrong place. And it won't
wrong
have
website that you want associated
wrong
with you.
Website. Absolutely. It could have an old website or a defunct, or worse yet, maybe your competitor's website.
Ooh.
Well, and these things happen because if they're similar, right? And I can think of one of my clients runs a doggy daycare, because their URL was doggydaycare.ca. There was also a doggydaycare.com, which is a US company. So when she did a search, they had associated the other company with her Google My Business.
Do businesses that, maybe don't worry so much about integrity try to claim a competitor's site on Google?
They can't. They can try. But here's what's really cool. Especially in certain areas, Google actually mails you a physical postcard to your physical address with a code on it that you have to enter to claim the business. Mm. And that's one of the things they've put in place to help you not have your competitor claim your business. So that's why, and when you're going through the steps and it's in the checklist, they're going to ask you, what's your physical address? Because they're going to mail the card to you. Now, in some places, you can do email verification or phone verification, but usually it will be a physical postcard that they send you to claim your business. Now, once you've got the postcard, great, you enter it and you verify. The next steps really are filling in all the information that Google asks you for. Now, I know some of us home-based businesses, we kind of go, but if I give them my physical address, then they're going to list it and then people are going to show up at my house. Don't worry. Google's got your back on that too, because you can select service areas and there's a little spot when you're first putting in all your information that says you deliver your goods and services to your clients, so they don't physically come to you. So then Google goes, oh, okay, so we'll give you a service area, or in some cases now it's a province or a state that you can serve.
So if you have a home-based business, you want to click, you provide the services to your client. They don't come pick it up from you at the store or your home or anything else.
That's correct.
That's an important point. I'm glad you made us aware of that one.
Yeah, because some people, and I'll use a client that runs an insurance business. She goes to her clients to write their insurance business. They don't come to her home. She's a home-based office, and she doesn't want them coming to her home. So awesome. You select your service area, and you can even, in some cases, pick cities and towns that you serve, depending on the type of business. Google's a little Yeah. They just, they give you options, but sometimes they aren't the perfect options. You have to pick the best option.
So before we get to the next step and the next tip,
yeah,
if we have already claimed our business, can we go back in and correct
absolutely
these specifics?
Yeah, absolutely. There's always places to edit. Now, Google will say that they have to verify the edit, which means they're just going to check some things. They're just, sometimes they don't let you make the edits right away. Or they'll show up right away, but you can, yes, you can always go back in. And that's why I recommend to everyone. Now, they keep shifting things, and now you can actually download the app to your phone. So we'll get to that in a couple of tips, but yes.
Okay.
Save that Google My Business dashboard someplace where you can find it. And as we're going through the tips, there's a really important reason for that.
All right.
That you
So
can use.
Take us sequentially through some of these other tips that you have for us.
So first thing is, once you've claimed your business and you're in the dashboard, fill in everything that you can. The actual hours you are open, the best phone number, your website. You'll see on the left-hand side when you're your dashboard, there's a whole bunch of information and other things they want you to fill in. There's a tab that says website. Now that's to create a website in Google. So you don't want to do that if you've already got a website. Just kind of ignore that tab, because in the information section, there's a place to put in your actual website, your best email, phone number, all of these things. It just makes it easier for people to find you. Now, it's interesting because this is one of the things that Google does to keep you as current as possible. When you put in your hours, and I know when we're filming this, American Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Mm-hmm. Google will send you an email and saying, oh, special hours, Thanksgiving is coming up. Are you open on these days? Or what hours are you open on these days? And you get to select. Google goes, thank you for doing that. You're making our database more accurate, your business more accurate. Thank you. And then that makes Google rank you higher than the people that don't bother to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's just how they operate. And then the more you play nice in Google's world, the more they like you and the more they will promote you. That makes sense.
Since most of the viewers of Fast Action Fridays are home-based solopreneurs, yes, is there a recommended time frame for stating business hours?
I say do it when you're actually open. So one of my clients who builds apps, he's actually got a full-time job. And he's like, well, I don't work during the day. Right? Well, great. Then let people know that you work from 5:30 or 6:30, whatever time you choose, till 9 or 10 p.m. Then Google goes, okay, this is when they're open, and it makes it easier for them to rank you and have people connect with you.
Okay.
Right? And it's the same with one of my clients, Orthodox Jewish, and their hours differ somewhat than others. So they set their hours based on their time and their calendar, and Google lets you do that. So whatever works best for you. So if you're a home-based business, and let's say you homeschool your kids in the mornings and you really only want to be open from noon till 6 p.m., awesome. Put those hours in.
I think we're touching on what has probably kept a lot of solopreneurs from claiming their business, because they may have gone and looked at it and said, I don't know how to answer these questions. Why is it important for me to answer my question? What happens if I don't answer these questions?
And that is important, because then the more complete your profile is, the more Google promotes you. The information that's missing, Google kind of goes, well, we can't really promote them because we don't know if they're open. We don't know if they're an actual, are they still an actual operating entity? And that's important in your search, right? And this isn't just, for the local search, because that's where Google focuses. But if I was to pick, say, Calgary, Alberta, and I'm listed there, they're going to list my type of business before they would list somebody, say, in Detroit, Michigan, right, around the corner from you.
That happened to me. One of my local clients said, I never realized there was somebody in my backyard that offered what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
And
right.
it happens. Yeah.
Yes. I know you've got some more
Yeah. So
steps for us here.
the other, and this is important. Google states this, that businesses that actually have photos and or videos get like 45% higher requests for more information. And Google says more people request directions on how to get there. So if you're a brick and mortar, it helps them find you. But photos, we've all got photos. And people go, oh yeah, but I don't like my photos. Awesome. But think about some of the photos you could have. Do you have a logo of your business? Put it up there. Google asked for it. You can get, and this is where some people go, well, I don't have a logo, or I don't want to create a logo. There's something called Fiverr.com, and you might have heard of it, Fiverr.com. And for $20, somebody will create a logo for you. Put it up there. And before you get too worked up about, oh, but it's my logo and I got to really think about this and it's got to be perfect. If you're not Nike or Apple, nobody cares what your logo is. They really don't. The only people that really love it are you and the graphic designer that made it for you. So something is better than nothing.
Exactly. And you can always do a text-based, just, decorative font type logo just to get you by.
And if you want something like that, go to Canva, Canva.com,
which
and
is
you
free.
Can create your own logo in there. They've got some great starts that you just modify to fit you. And I've used them as well because there's lots of great stuff in there.
What other kind of photos could a home-based solopreneur put up?
So a lot of home-based solopreneurs, you have products that you sell. So you can do photos of those. You've probably been to or are going to some form of trade shows. Photos of your booth from that, photos of you attending, presentations you've done, even short videos that you can shoot, you can put up there, right? It's like, hi, I'm Mark, and I'm representing Success Innovations. I'm
almost like a welcome video on your YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you can just upload those. So those are all, yeah.
Which is also a Google product. So
yes, it is. And it's good because it gives you leverage, right? So you can host your video on YouTube and share the link up into your Google My Business.
All right. I know I'm going to have to go back and tweak my it's just called Google My Business. Is that all?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else do we need to pay attention to when we're filling this out or if we're editing ours?
Yeah. So you go back in and you can edit. There's one thing that most businesses don't do. So almost all of you that do some form of home-based business have probably been told you need to have a blog. And you should be blogging. And you should be sharing information. Google My Business actually has a place where you can create a post. And it's limited to only 1,500 words, but that's fine because you can say a lot in 1,500 words. You get to share a photo, right? So whether it's your photo, picture of one of your products, whatever it is, you can put that in there, write a nice little blog post, short blog post, and below that, they give you the option of a button that you can put in, and you get to put the link in the button. So they have a book now, Buy Me. They have a whole list of them that you get to choose. You choose the type of button, what you want it to say, learn more even, and then you get to put the link behind that button so it's not seen. So you can put the link to whatever your product or service is that you want you're sharing on your Google My Business page.
So this is like a online brochure for you, or serving the same purpose as a landing page on your website, only it's specific for there. That's awesome.
Specific
we talk about
for their specific.
Yeah, talk about
and it's
opportunities for free promotion, which as a certified guerrilla marketing coach and the Purgatory Relief Coach for people who think marketing is hell, we love effective free publicity and resources.
And this is, so even to this, and I'll use this is one of the secret tips that I actually have in my Google My Business course, but I'll share it with you guys. I have a couple of businesses that I've worked with that are in the insurance industry and in the financial planning industry. And they always freak out saying, I have no photos I can share because of regulations, blah, blah, blah. And I said, great, I understand. But there's a great source called Pixabay, Pixabay.com, that has hundreds, thousands, I don't know, maybe millions of free photos. I said, take a keyword that you know, and type it in and then go see. So one of my insurance guys, Dale, is like, well, yeah, but there's no photos I can use because they all, and I said, well, here, we're doing a Zoom call like this. I did a screen share. We did a quick search and I put in insurance and family, and up pops this picture of a mom and a dad and two little kids laying on a carpet with a little heartbeat thing coming across and then a red heart around them and then a heartbeat thing going away. I said, there's a perfect photo. I said, you're not making any kinds of promises, but everybody that looks at this is going to go, oh, that's health insurance, that's life insurance, that's family insurance, that's something, right? And it's no regulator anywhere could say, oh, well, you're promising them something, right?
All right. Well, I want to remind viewers that you'll see a link about now and again at the end of this with where you can go to get Mark's free resource. If you're just listening to this podcast, then you can go to rockingyourpath.com and search for Mark Johnson's Fast Action Fridays episode, and the link will be there.
Yeah.
Give us one more good juicy bit, because all of these are amazing so far. You know, I'm astounded that I didn't know some of this.
So put up photos, put up videos, do a post regularly. So every week, take a few minutes. And here's one of the tips that I use and I'll share with you. If you're on Facebook, if you have a Facebook business page, a LinkedIn page, any of these other services, you can use your blog post that you created in Google My Business to share. Now, you have to do a copy and paste, but you get to share that same information. So you only write it once, but you get to share it in a bunch of different places.
Again, now, are we replacing this each week or adding a new one?
You don't replace it. It just adds a new one.
Okay.
So they stay, once you've written them, they stay there. So you can, when you're in your dashboard, you can click on the button and you'll see past posts. So once you write it once, you can go in and copy and paste out of there into LinkedIn or into your Facebook business page.
So this is a lot like Google Plus used to be, where we posted things.
Kind of, yes. Yeah. Google Plus has gone away completely. Right. But this is a way to get your stuff out there more. And then the other nice thing that Google lets you do besides posts, and I know at this point, Black Friday is coming, but then Christmas, everything, you can create an event on your Google My Business page as well. And it goes up there. So you can, so there's another tip for you. It's not just a post. You can also create events that then Google lists, right? So if you're a home-based business and you're selling a product or service from home, you can create your event. It's an online event. Maybe it's a webinar that you're sharing information. You create all that stuff in your Google My Business page and it lives there, right? And this is the beauty. You don't have to have a fancy website. You don't have to have all these other things. And, you know, really from a guerrilla marketing standpoint, this is beautiful because it's simple, right? It takes a little bit of time to do it first, but then it grows, right?
Exactly. So it's a good place to start. And yes, if you've already got the website, it's another avenue to make use of what you've already created.
Yes.
Now, do these
And
articles
this is
have to
branded
be
to you.
specific? Like, can we use a blog post that we already have on our blog and copy and paste that in?
Yes. Yes, we can.
All righty.
It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be original, unique content only shown there.
Okay.
Right. So yes, you can take your blog, put it there, which then you can share to say LinkedIn or share to Facebook. And you can do all these things. And even using this very tool that we're using, you can create a video into a slide share, record your voice, and share that up.
Very good. So I
there's
know, because I know my followers, somebody's going to say, but if we use the same post on our website and on Facebook, Google's going to think we're duplicating content. And that's not the definition of duplicating content.
No.
Not in Google terms.
Not in Google terms. And this is where a lot of people get, oh, but if I did this here, right? But if you read some of the stuff from Google itself, and they will tell you that recycling, and even Facebook, something that, has been 6 months past and you share it again and people liked it, then Google's like, oh, that's more traffic to your site, which is more traffic to us, which is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So don't let that little voice, right? The thing that stops most of this is this space is 6 inches from ear to ear. Don't overthink this. This is fine. You can reshare content, and I'll use a Facebook post that I did. I had done it a year ago. I reshared it about 7 months later, and I actually got more traffic to exactly the same post the second time than I did the first time.
Right. So we're repurposing our content, just like I repurpose my blog posts on Medium now and on various social media platforms. It's just that doing it here within Google's own feature is going to have additional benefits for us in the search engine. Did I capsulize that well?
Yes. Yes, that's perfect. And that goes to putting your videos that you create up on YouTube and sharing them across. As anyone that has studied websites is like, oh, well, the more links, external links you have, the better. It's the same type of thing. Google sees that link from your Google My Business page back to YouTube. Oh, that's a link. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And they're using our platforms. Great.
So brownie points.
Brownie points. Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have as much information when Google asks for it, give it to them. And I know some people go, oh, but if you want your business to be successful, you have to share who and what you do. And if you don't share it, you could have the best thing in the world. But if you're not sharing it with the world, nobody knows about you.
Right. So your free resource is how to use Google My Business to get more business easily. And I would be surprised if my followers don't jump at the chance to grab this, because it's free. It's going to help them repurpose the material they're already creating. For my new entrepreneurs who are struggling to get a foothold and wondering what they should do first, it sounds like this is a good first step, as go claim your business on Google.
Yeah, claim it and use it. This isn't, I'll do it once and forget about it. I create a new post at least once a week. And here's the other beautiful thing. You go, oh yeah, I was going to do that and I forgot. Google will remind you. They'll send you an email that says, oh, your post is expiring. Do you want to create a new post? So they're helping you. All you have to do is
it wants fresh content.
Nice in their sandbox.
Excuse me.
Yes.
So Google's looking for fresh content each week.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, I know when we're done with our interview today, I'm going to go over to Trello and add Google My Business as a regular part of my marketing strategy for repurposing content.
And even if you don't have new content, if you post a new picture,
Mm-hmm.
they like that, because what do a lot of people search for on Google? And it's pictures.
Exactly.
So the more pictures you have on your site, your Google My Business page, the more people go, oh yeah, they exist. And just to share, I did a photo of the inside of one of my clients' businesses and shared it in my Google review of them. That was the part we didn't do, was Google reviews. That photo in 8 months had been viewed 5,000 times.
All right. As we start winding this up, I know people are going to say, but if I put my picture there and Google shows it when people search, are they going to steal that photo and use it for their own use? Which a lot of people inadvertently do. They think just because they found it on free Google, they're able to use any picture that comes up. What's your advice about that? I know what I would tell people about that, but what would you tell people?
So there's if you're absolutely, they're going to steal my photo. You remember canva.com that we talked about? You can upload your photo into Canva, and in Canva, you can add words to it. Or if you have Microsoft Paint, some of these other tools, you can say, copyright your business, put your website on it, and then if somebody steals it, your stuff's still there. So brand your photo with your stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good.
Yeah.
Now, are people likely to steal your stuff? Not really, but if that's one of your concerns, brand with your stuff and then put it up.
Or go back to Pixabay, like you mentioned, which is now a Canva, is owned by Canva, and grab a free resource. Put the wording on there that may be a message, and then you're don't have to worry about something that's proprietary to you, a picture that you took personally. All
Absolutely.
Right. Well, Mark, this has been amazing. And I do want to encourage people to go get your free resource and take time to walk through these steps. And I was looking through this earlier, and I noticed that because you can go back and edit, I think
Yes.
to go back to what you said earlier, just go in and answer what you can as best you can, get it done, and then go back and tweak as it makes sense to you. So you don't need to spend a lot of time doing this. The important thing is, number one, go claim your business, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, we're going to have
Claim
to have
your
you back.
business and then get started.
This has been wonderful. We are going to have you back on Fast Action Fridays, because I know that there's more insightful information about marketing and Google and farming or travel. You and I talked about some of our personal experiences, and we both got some really cool stuff. If you go back to the episode page on rockingyourpath.com, you'll be able to read some fun and unusual facts about Mark that we don't discuss here in the interview. Thank you again for joining us today, Mark.
Thank you so much for having me, Kat. It's been a lot of fun.
And this is Kat Sturtz from rockingyourpath.com, closing another episode of Fast Action Fridays. Remember to join me next week when I have another great guest. Until then, remember to keep rocking your unique path to success. Bye-bye.